it made me feel really, I don't know, I got a bit like happy emotional because I saw your page and it was just nice to, obviously your story broke my heart. You know, it did. And, you know, obviously I'm living that now, obviously, but, and I've seen, you know, loads of people, obviously with dementia and stuff, but it was just nice to, I think someone around a similar age, like you've gone through that and you're still doing what you're doing now. I just think, yeah, it
Yeah.
was, yeah, it's good.
I think it does make a difference because, as we've said, this kind of like isolation, loneliness, and feeling like almost abandoned by services and by the process of what's going on. And then to find people that you think, oh my gosh, you actually get it. It
Yeah,
does just feel like you can breathe again. And even small things like being able to say, do you know what? I've just had such a day, and know that people get the context of it without having to then explain, no, but it's because of the dementia or this and that. It feels like you actually feel a bit more normal. Whereas I think a lot of the time when
yeah,
you're a dementia carer, you feel like you're the weird one or the odd one out, or that you're not getting the hang of what's going on, or you don't have all the information and you feel quite lost. So to actually feel understood is a pretty special
yeah.
feeling.
It really is. And touching back on what you were saying about like being isolated and I don't get upset again, but for me recently, that's what I have struggled with, and then I feel selfish after then because I've chose to do what I do because I wanted to do that, and you know that was my choice. And
Yeah.
but sometimes like friends, well I say friends, people who thought were my friends, they'd say, "Oh, do you want to come out?" And I'd be like, "Oh yeah, me and Steve can be ready. What time do you want us ready for?" And then it's like, "Oh no, just you." And well, it honestly, yeah, words fail me to be honest because
It's
I
that
just don't
lack of
understand.
understanding, and they're not trying to be malicious, but at the same time, I think it really shows you just don't get what I'm going through. Because if you think that it's that
Mm,
easy for me to just, leave Steve at home, then you can't have a good grasp of what it looks like at home for us, because
yeah,
that's not an option. And actually, I think it's also quite hurtful. And people used to do this
it
with
really
dad
is.
as well, but they almost talk about him as if he's just not there. Like he's just a kind of like
Yeah,
bring
I
along
can't stand
person.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
doctors, I've a lot of doctors have done that, and like, well, you're giving me eye contact, and say Steve's next to me, and you're not talking about me, you're talking about the gentleman next to me, and
Yeah.
engage with him, and it's like you just said, he's here, he's a person, he's got feelings, he's got emotions. Yeah, he may have dementia and Alzheimer's, but he's just like me and you.
Yeah.
It's just I just don't get it, and I get a little bit. I kind of get my back up a little bit, and I do thankfully speak my mind, but it doesn't always get you anywhere. But
Unfortunately, I think unless you kind of push for the
yeah,
support or keep
you
going
have
on
to
about,
advocate for that. You have to
yeah,
I say it to everyone in your own health. You have to advocate for yourself because if not, who else is going to do it?
exactly. What do you think would be beneficial for young dementia carers like us in terms of support and mental health understanding?
I mean, going back to like obviously when I first met you and obviously seen your page, people like you, and
Thank you.
you know, no, but it's, you know, without sounding cheesy, but do you know what I mean? You don't get that offered from the doctor, or there's a support group you can drop into, or there's,
Yeah.
yeah, I met you, a total stranger, and here we are, and it's just, I don't know what to try, I'm really emotional.
No, it's
Um,
okay. I think these
but
conversations sometimes they bring
it's,
up stuff. I know even for me, it's like not that I've buried it, but it's stuff I almost feel like, oh, I've processed it. I feel okay about
I
that.
get that because you
And
try
then
and
you
put it to
start
the
having
back.
a conversation like this, and I think it is that understanding and that connection that actually allows you to feel safe enough to express that feeling again. And that's why it can end up feeling like, oh, I thought I'd processed this, but it seems to be coming back now. So earlier in the conversation, you had kind of remarked on thinking about care homes and caring for Steve at home. So I'm wondering, what kind of changes and adaptations have you made to be able to support him?
So obviously at the minute we're at mine and Sean's house at the moment. Obviously because there's been work done on Steve's house because it's been like refurbed and stuff like that. And so here, obviously his room's up here. Luckily his mobility is quite good. Obviously he gets the general aches and pains and whatnot,
Yeah.
um and stuff like that. obviously bedroom is upstairs. Obviously, because the bedrooms are all up here. There's nothing down. There's no room downstairs to do anything like that. But as I say, he's very mobile. It's kind of hard to not answer the question, but I think as things develop and deteriorate, which obviously they will, and they are,
Yeah.
um, it'll just be kind of going back to the basics of obviously what I've got in here and what I know from obviously my experience and supporting that way. But I mean, for now, not much adaptation as such. Maybe in his house, yeah. Obviously, like there's
Sure.
we've took doors out and made them in just to like an open walkway rather than feeling like trapped and dark and stuff
Hmm.
like that. And obviously the flooring's just been like neutral, no like mad colours and patterns. Obviously, as you know, it's not good obviously for the eyesight and stuff, and with the dementia on top of that.
Yeah.
And stuff like the stairs, we've got two grab rails that are with lights underneath, so it's all illuminated and stuff like that. Um, Everything's obviously like the wood around the doors is all like big and just nice chunky. Not like sometimes you get like a door frame. I was looking at my door frame
Yeah.
now. When you get like two chunks of wood and it looks like 3D almost. We've gone for like
Hmm.
all just flats. Everything's flat. There's no things with the shapes and stuff like that. Obviously, as you know, they can interpret that
Yeah.
as something else. And obviously, no dark colours and stuff like that. 'Cause it was quite not dark in there, but it just needed, that splash of life again, I suppose. And
Yeah.
all neutral, dementia friendly lights we've gone for, which my friend's doing. They're going to look awesome, and stuff like that. And just obviously,
Nice.
as things do deteriorate, obviously things like bathroom sign just to stick on the bathroom and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So yeah, for now it's kind of doing little bits like that, and then as things obviously deteriorate, then
Yeah.
kind of adapt as we need with things like that. And obviously like the beds, I've thought about the bed profiling beds and stuff like that in the future when it's required to to help him get up and stuff
Mm.
like that. And I think it's just a constant. Constantly thinking, well, but
Yeah.
this will be good for in the future when we need it, and that'll be good for now. And
But I think it's very interesting that you've just said there, oh, we've only been making these little changes. And actually, like sat here listening to that list of amazing adaptations you're making, those are not little at all.
yeah,
I mean,
that's the
like,
thing, isn't it? That we put ourselves not down, but I think like,
yeah.
in a way, it's yeah,
Yeah. Well, you think, oh, it's only a change to the lighting or it's only a change to the flooring, but actually these things are huge in helping someone live independently. And I don't know how I haven't heard of this or thought of it before, but I love the idea of like the light strips on the stairs. That's a
yeah.
really nice one. Did you come up with those like through research or through your previous work, or was it suggested to you from somewhere?
To be honest with you, it just come to my head, and I thought that would look really it would look really cool, and
Mm,
for him as well because it's all like, and again for the lighting purpose. Obviously, sometimes having big bright lights on can be a bit overwhelming, and
yeah. I
whereas if
think
that
the
was nice, we
shadows
can have
it
it a bit
creates as well. We often
exactly,
overlook the
yeah,
fact that that might be creating big dark patches in the room that can feel unsteady
yeah.
to kind of walk into.
When I first started in the care home, I was only 18. Like mirrors, a lot of people would kind of if a mirror would freak them out, and obviously
Mm,
as I've gone on in like, the dementia journey and work and stuff, they can see that as like a black hole and
yeah.
stuff like that, and stuff with like dark rugs on the floor. They think it's like a hole in the floor.
Obviously, you've come up with these fantastic changes, and I think
Thank you.
it's highlights for a lot of people as well just how much practical thinking you have to do as a carer in terms of trying to get the
It's
home
constant.
prepared. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
constant. Like you're constantly just trying to safeguard, aren't you? And and yeah, it can. It's exhausting, isn't it?
Yeah.
it is exhausting mentally. It
It
is,
is. It can be really
but
draining.
it's so rewarding.
Yeah,
Like I'd
when you
never.
find that technique or that adaptation that suddenly clicks, it is like, oh, yes, that's a good
Mm,
feeling. But I think there's
it
also
is.
almost that bitterness that comes with being a dementia carer of knowing, yes, this adaptation works now, but realistically, I don't know how long it's
How
going to
long for? Yeah,
work
no, exactly.
for.
Then you're thinking, oh, now I need to do the next thing, and how am I
Yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah, you can't ever really just settle and be like, right, well, that's that done now.
Well, no, you can't live for the now, can you? Because you're all
No.
well, me personally, and yourself. You're always
Yeah,
thinking down the line, or even a week down the.
exactly.
It's
What would you say is the most helpful way that you've learned to support yourself whilst caring for Steve?
be kind to yourself and self love, and there is people there making me emotional again now. There's people like yourself and obviously others other pages and stuff, and just be honest with yourself and ask for help. Obviously, if you need it, sometimes it's a bit like, I don't know, for you, asking for help feels a bit like, oh, are people going to think that I'm not able or I'm not, good enough to do this, or and it's, on reflection, it's silly to think like that, but if you're not in my shoes or someone else's shoes who's going through that, it's not silly, is it? But yeah, just be kind, I think, to yourself, and
Yeah.
remember that you matter as well, and look
Yeah.
after your own mental health, and make sure you're eating and drinking, because there's days where I think, but I've not drank or ate in like 4 hours,
That
and
is so
not.
important. It is so easy to overlook our kind of basic needs because we're so concerned about the person that we're caring for. So I think that's fantastic advice. And
Mm.
thank you so much for joining me today, Sean. This has been a lovely
No, thank you,
conversation.
as well.
And I'm sure it will
Thank
help
you.
many other young dementia carers see, first of all, that, there are similarities in this journey. There are people that do get it as well and know how hard it is trying to navigate these care systems, but also that it's okay if journeys look different.
Like I say, everyone's stories in the differences of obviously different types of dementia, as you were saying,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So each journey is, well, yeah, no journey is the same, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah. But just knowing that there is support out there and there are people that are going to
Yeah.
understand you. So don't sit in that isolation thinking, God, that's it now. I don't know what to do. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
No,
And
thank you.
brilliant. We will catch you at the next Carers conversation.